Hi, Betty. You suppose the vice president's too busy to...
Oh, Betty's with Mr. Honeywell now. I'm Muriel. Is there anything I can do?
Well, I didn't know Dad had a new secretary. I'm Margie Albright.
Oh, you lucky, lucky girl. His family. Oh, isn't he wonderful? So adorably mature and yet so alive and vibrant. Like a Greek god.
Dad?
Yes, and he's so kind and patient and generous.
Yes. Is he alone?
Alone? No. Even though he doesn't know it, he's not alone anymore.
Well, as long as he doesn't know it, I'll go in and tell him.
Oh, no, wait. Please, let me tell him you're here. I love doing these little intimate things.
How private can a private secretary get?
Mr. Albright will see you now.
Hi, Margie.
Well, if it isn't the old Greek god himself. Say, where are you hiring your secretaries these days? From the Lonely Hearts Club? That's what I'd call a real gone gal.
Oh, don't be cute. She's just a child, a backward child at that. She can't type, can't take dictation, can't even answer the telephone properly.
But how she can roll them roly-poly eyes. You rascal, you.
Oh, don't be ridiculous. That girl is driving me crazy, mooning around here, sighing like a leaky pipe organ.
Oh, come now, Dad. Muriel wouldn't have those zingy heartstrings without some encouragement, like, say, taking her to lunch and holding hands over the tomato aspic.
Are you kidding? She takes me to lunch and holds my hand when I reach for the check and pays for it herself.
She pays the check? Why, that's treason to our sex. Dad, this girl has got to go.
Those are my sentiments exactly. But I can't fire her. You see, she's the daughter of one of Honeywell's pet clients, and he put her in here.
Oh, no. Then as long as Papa collects dividends, Muriel is your ever-loving secretary. And I do mean ever-loving.
Oh, it's not as bad as that. J.P. Joyner, that's Papa, has a contract renewal coming up in 2 weeks. And when he signs, his little daughter is going out of here along with a half-ton of assorted plants. Yes, Muriel?
Mr. Albright, it's almost lunchtime. Guess where we're going to have our yum-yum today?
I'm sorry, Muriel, but I'm having yum-yum. I mean lunch with my daughter today. Thanks just the same. Well, if I have to have lunch once more with that cockeyed female, I'll...
You'll do what?
Good morning, Mr. Honeywell.
Yes, it is, and we're going to keep it that way right through lunch. Get that all right with Miss Joyner.
But Margie's going to lunch with me.
Margie's going to catch a fast hamburger alone. This is business, all right, which means keeping our clients happy.
Now, just a minute. I think Margie has something to say about that.
Well?
Just one thing. May I have onions on that hamburger? And there he was, with so many flowers, he looked like a well-kept grave.
How do you like that? Your dad's got a bobby sock. You're in love with him.
Every time she looks at him, I expect her to squeal, "Ooh, Bernie," and swoon dead away. Must be Casanova now. Hi, Dad. What's wrong? Have you been in an accident?
Muriel proposed to me
She proposed to you.
at lunch over the tea leaves. What are you hee-hawing about? What a pin brain that gal must be, wanting to marry an old gaffer like you. Goodbye, Margie.
Dad?
Oh, Margie, please, let me take just one swing at him. The way I feel right now, that's the only thing that'll help.
Sit down and let me get this straight. She actually proposed marriage to you? Well, naturally, you refused, so there's nothing to worry about, is there? Is there?
You just don't get a chance to refuse a girl like Muriel, and besides, she told Mr. Honeywell about it before she told me.
But, Dad, he can't make you marry her.
Well, he said I had to play along until the contract was signed. Margie, I just won't do it. I'll quit first. I'll call him up right now and tell him I resign.
Now, wait a minute, Dad. That's silly, quitting your job over a lovesick girl. There must be a better way to... Why, sure. We can do it easy.
Do what?
Look, Dad, Mr. Honeywell couldn't blame you if Muriel herself got over this mad crush.
Well, but that's impossible. You know she's absolutely goofy about me.
Well, sure, but that's because she's been taken in by that glamorous exterior. So kind and patient and generous. Suppose she found out you weren't really like that at all.
Huh?
Don't you get it? We'll disillusion her about you.
Well, now, that might not be so easy. After all, I am what I am.
Oh, sure, Dad. Naturally, we'll have to fake it. You know, show her your bad side.
Well, if you think she'll believe that I have a bad side.
Excuse me, I swallowed the wrong way. Now, here's what we're going to do. You invite Muriel to dinner tomorrow night.
More meatloaf, Muriel?
Yes, thank you. I'm really hungry tonight.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Muriel. There isn't any more. Dad's so strict about wasting food, and, well, hamburger is so expensive these days. I got a real bargain on this batch, only 39 cents a pound.
39? Why, they had it at Schleckinger's for 37.
I'm sorry, Dad. I guess I was a little extravagant.
She throws money around like water. I give her $10 a week to run the house, food, utilities, and telephone. And last month, she didn't even save enough money to make a payment on my car.
I had to pay the cleaner for my bedroom rug.
You had that rug cleaned? Why, it's only 9 by 12. Why didn't you rinse it out yourself?
It wouldn't go in my wash tub. Besides, I broke the washboard doing Mrs. Odette's bath mat. Dad lets me take in the neighbor's laundry in my spare time. That's how I get my spending money.
Spending money? Well, then why don't you spend it? Why did you use my charge account to buy that new lingerie?
Well, I didn't have enough saved up. Unbleached muslin is so expensive.
Unbleached muslin lingerie?
Oh, you get used to it. Dad almost spoiled me one Christmas. He got a big bonus at the office and went right out and bought me a seersucker slip. I put it in my hook chest.
Don't try to change the subject. I'm going to look through our bills and see what other advances you've taken of my generosity.
Oh, now, don't cry, dear.
He's so stingy. He squeezes the nickel so hard the hide comes off the buffalo. Oh, Muriel, you've got to change him when you're married. I don't mind for myself, but when I think of my new mommy scrubbing floors and going around in rags,
Don't you worry about me. I admire your father's thrift. It shows his thinking of my security after we're married.
Say what?
Well, my father is a rich man because he always said, a penny rolls faster than a dollar, so catch it first. Oh, Dad will be delighted to know that the Joyner account is being handled by a sound man like Vernon.
Margie, come here.
Excuse me.
Well, how'd it go?
It didn't. It seems part of your charm lies in your thrift. She'd rather put a buck in the bank than on her back any time.
Maybe she's got something there.
Now, don't go getting any ideas about me. It's your romance we're trying to straighten out, not your budget.
I know, but what are we going to do now?
Scratch Plan 1 and proceed with Plan 2, emergency.
I'll teach you to run up the electric bill reading in bed.
No! I wasn't reading in bed. I was darning your socks.
And that. I'm sorry to spoil your dinner, but a man can stand just so much.
I wasn't listening.
Oh, it's nice of you to say, but I'm not ashamed. The women of my household are chastised only when they deserve it. Of course, sometimes I do let my temper get away from me.
I'll get the coffee.
Oh, Muriel, I'm sorry to have you see this side of me.
She deserved it. Trying to upset you like this.
What?
Those bandages. It's like you said, Vernon. She's just trying to play on my sympathy. Why, you couldn't have hurt her that much. Not you.
But,
Besides, if you're the master of the house, be the master. I'd expect the same if I did anything wrong.
excuse me. Did you hear that?
She's not goofy about you. She's goofy, period.
Oh, Margie, what are we going to do?
I don't know. Hey, wait. Suppose she met a fascinating cousin of yours, a sort of a younger Vern Albright. He could win her away from you, sweep her off her feet.
But I haven't got a cousin like that.
Oh, Dad, this has got to work. All you have to do is get her here again tomorrow night. Then leave the rest to Cousin Freddie.
Freddie? That pipsqueak win a girl away from me? Margie, are you out of your mind?
Now, Freddie is your cousin. He's supposed to be the boy wonder of Wall Street. Toss off the names of a few stocks and bonds, Freddie. But most important is vitality. You've got to sweep this girl off her feet.
Yeah, just pretend you're me. Lots of drive and bounce. You know, the Douglas Fairbanks type.
That must be Muriel. Freddie, you sneak out the back door and make your entrance. We have another guest for dinner tonight. I hope you don't mind. Dad's cousin, Freddie Albright. You'll like him. He's a lot like Dad.
There couldn't be another man like dear Vernon. Why, after him, they broke the mold.
Yes, but of course, he's getting a little moldier with the years. Freddie's the man Dad was a quarter of a century ago.
A quarter of a century? Now, you're making him sound positively decrepit.
I am? That's wonderful. I mean, Dad's really not a well man. In fact, right now, he's suffering from another of his attacks, poor thing.
Attacks of what?
Oh, just old age, I guess. Aching back, dizzy spells, no energy. Some mornings, he has to take pills just to get his heart started. Excuse me. Father, dear?
Well, that's all right, Margie. I can make it, I guess. Good evening, Muriel.
Vernon, dear, what's happened to you?
The old rheumatiz is acting up again. It usually does when it's about to rain, by cracky.
Appetizer, Muriel?
Oh, thank you. Canapé, dear. They look delicious.
Afraid not. Stomach won't take the spicy foods anymore.
Oh, sir?
No stomach. Operation last year.
Shouldn't your cousin Freddie be coming along soon? I was just telling Muriel about him.
Oh, yes, he should be along any minute now. You like Freddie. Nice chap. Very much like me when I was younger.
Hi, anybody home? It's Cousin Freddie, you lucky people. Hi, everybody. And who is this fascinating creature? Where have you been all my drab, dreary life?
Freddie, this is Muriel Joyner. She's Father's secretary, but not for long. They're engaged to be married.
Married? Oh, no. A young, vibrant thing like you married to him? Muriel, how about a fast rumba before dinner? Just the two of us kids. Margie, my sweet, put on a record. On your feet, you unplucked blossom, you.
Well, really, Vernon isn't feeling too well. Do you think we should?
Oh, let the old wreck sink slowly to the bottom. We're young. We've got a life to live. Let's live it. Boy, did she ever fall for me. Didn't even want poor old Vern to take her home. I guess she was afraid he'd collapse on the way.
You certainly rubbed it into him. Well, at least we got him off the hook.
You might as well face it, Margie. When I can't take a girl away from your father, I may as well cash in my chips.
Dad, what's happened?
You idiot, you dope. Do you know what you've done? You were so young and disgustingly healthy that now Muriel wants to marry me more than ever.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. She says she can't leave me now. Young men like you are independent and strong, but a sick man like me needs a wife's loving care.
This place confuses me. Confuses me.
Oh, Mr. Honeywell.
All right, what are you doing up and around? From Muriel's report, you ought to be in bed.
What? Oh, that. Oh, that was just a little joke that I was playing.
Well, Muriel's father pulled the snapper to your little joke, all right. He called early this morning, wants you to come up to his country place for a long visit with free medical advice, pills, and nursing facilities.
Mr. Joyner wants Dad? What's he running, a sanitarium?
He's a hypochondriac, makes a hobby of sicknesses, and when Muriel phoned him about your father, he got interested in his symptoms.
Well, I'm not going up there and pretend to be sick.
You're leaving for the country right now, and you're going to stay there until the old man signs that contract.
And if I don't?
Then you better go to a real sanitarium for a good long rest. You won't have a job to worry about. Goodbye.
Oh, Margie, what are we going to do?
I wonder where I can get a really cute nurse's outfit. Time for your medicine, Mr. Joyner.
Thank you, my dear. I hope you don't mind Margie taking care of me. Got to have a nurse now that you've stolen my little Muriel.
Little did I realize what awaited me the first day I came to work for you. Oh.
That's right. By George, you're the best investment we ever made with Honeywell and Todd. Eh, Muriel?
Oh, speaking of investments, Mr. Joyner, Dad, your contract comes up pretty soon, and I thought, that you might sign it before the renewal date.
Son, I intend doing just that.
You mean you're going to sign it now?
Just let me handle it, my boy. Hello, operator. Get me Honeywell and Todd in New York. I want to speak to George Honeywell personally.
Hello? Oh, hello, J.P. How are you?
George, prepare yourself for a surprise. I'm going to give that contract to Vern as a wedding present. How's that? Some surprise, eh? Well, my future son-in-law is anxious to get business affairs over with so he can go on his honeymoon with a free mind.
Well. Yes, I'll come to the wedding. Goodbye. And to think I ever doubted Albright's loyalty to the firm. That man is one of industry's heroes.
Oh, Margie, it's too wild. It'll never work. Now, why don't I leave the country right now? I can send for you when I make a new start in Mexico or someplace.
Dad, all we've got to do is make Muriel see how silly it is for a girl to fall in love with a man old enough to be her father.
Well, we haven't had much luck so far.
That's because it wasn't her father. I think she'll see the light when she finds me romancing Papa Joyner. Now, just leave it to me. You go get Muriel.
Good evening, Margie. My goodness, you are the prettiest nurse I've ever had.
Oh, Mr. Joyner, don't say nice things to me. It only makes it harder.
Why, my dear, what's the matter?
I have a confession to make. I'm in love.
Well, now, nothing wrong with that.
But I've known him such a short time. I'm shameless, brazen.
Nonsense, my dear. I think you're the sweetest girl I ever knew.
You really do?
Yes. Now tell me, who is the lucky man you've given your little heart to?
It's you. From the moment I saw you breathing into your oxygen inhaler so devil-may-care, I knew that I'd found my true love.
Well, I didn't realize that I was still so attractive to a beautiful woman.
I can't believe it.
Oh, I didn't either when Margie first told me, but That's love.
But he's so much older than she is. Why, he's old enough to be her father.
Well, so am I. I mean, I'm old enough to be your father.
Well, I know, but... Surely you realize how ridiculous this is.
How can love be ridiculous?
But you just met him.
Well, you fell in love with Dad when you first met him, didn't you? Well, didn't you?
Well, yes, but this is different somehow. He's my father, and... Oh, Margie, believe me, this is no life for a girl like you, feeding pills to a sick old man.
Well, that's how it'll be with you and Dad. Oh, maybe you're right, Muriel. I'll make the sacrifice if you will. I'll give dear J.P. up if you'll give my Dad back to me. He'll be the only thing I'll have, you know.
I agree, Margie.
Dad, I've got the most wonderful news for you.
I want you to be the first to know. There's going to be a double wedding. After thinking it over, I've decided to accept Marge's proposal.
Oh, if this doesn't work any better than your last brilliant idea.
It got you off the hook with Muriel, didn't it?
Oh, yes, but you've got J.P. so steamed up about marrying you. Oh, Margie, why do you have to do these crazy things?
Look, Dad, Muriel's on our side now. When I get through with this Pepper, J.P. will be so allergic to me, he'll call off our wedding and go on a honeymoon with his doctor. Here. Now, you keep out of sight.
Come, my dear, we must make definite plans for the wedding. Where shall we go on our honeymoon?
Oh, J.P., stop. You're making me blush. Can't you smell something?
What is it, a new perfume? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't smell anything. I've caught a dreadful cold in my head.
Can't smell anything?
What? What's the matter? Good heavens, Margie. I hope you haven't developed an allergy.
Allergy? Oh, no, it couldn't be that I'm... Oh, no, not that.
Not what?
Allergic to you. But it must be that. Last night when you kissed me, my nose started to tickle, and just now when you mentioned wedding... Oh, Father! A horrible thing has happened. I'm allergic to the man I'm going to marry.
Oh, good heavens. Do you know what this means? She can't marry your father.
No.
Yes.
Oh, my dear, this is terrible. What are we going to do? Muriel, what's the matter?
I don't know. I just...
J.P., I want you to know how sorry I am that
Now I see it all, alone in my old age. Everyone's allergic to me.
Well, Margie, I'll have to admit you got me out of a pretty frightening mess, with the contract signed at that. Thanks.
Don't mention it. Just promise me you'll be more careful the next secretary you hire.
From now on, I'm not going to have a secretary. I'm allergic to him, so help me.
That's the old Pepper.
Well, that's my little Margie.